Oh, hell yeah. Isaac Drango, left tackle out of Georgia, joining the squad. Good day, Internet. Let's have a good one. Hagan here with episode 9 of the Coach Charley Roy Dynasty. Coach Roy is still undefeated as a head coach, a first-time head coach at that. This week, the Panthers head to Kent, Ohio to play their third road game in a row versus the Kent State Golden Flash, who are 4-3 on the year. Once we play this game, we'll start looking at college rankings, awards, Heisman race, all that good stuff after 8 games are played. But for now, let's get into recruiting and then we'll get into highlights of the game. All right, here we go into recruiting this week. Got our commits so far. Countess is still first. Trimble has committed to Southern Miss, so we're going to remove from our board. There we go. We got a visit for Tyler. All right, Canadian, we got to up the ante here. We got to get send the house. All right, let's up the ante here. Send the house. Go first. Offer a scholarship. Bulaga. That's our board for now. That brings us to the end of the recruiting for this week. Next week, we'll go and fill out our board again and keep trying to, build this first class in the Coach Charley Roy Dynasty. The Panthers would start the game the best way possible. Cornerback Deuce Walker would find a seam on the left side of the opening kick return to take it 102 yards for the score. Just 10 seconds in and the Panthers lead, 7-0. Kent State would drive into Panthers territory rather easily, but the Panthers defense would have a team meeting, sacking Kent State quarterback Tommy Ulotsky for a 7-yard loss. On 2nd and 17, KD McDaniel would get his second sack of the game, putting him at 13 on the year, pushing Kent State to 3rd and 24. On Georgia State's first possession of the game, Coach Roy would decide to go for it on 4th and 5 at midfield. Christian Velu would complete it to Taylor Williams for a 15-yard gain. 5 plays later, the Panthers would find themselves at the 5. Velu would connect with Taylor Williams one more time to put Georgia State up 14-0. Midway through the second quarter, Kent State would drop back to pass on 2nd and 11. Defensive tackle Henry Bryant and edge KD McDaniel would sandwich Tommy Ulotsky, forcing a fumble that Kent State would recover. The Golden Flash lost 18 yards on the play. Following the punt and a 2-minute warning, Velu would air it out deep to the right sideline. Taylor Williams would make a beautiful in-air adjustment to haul in the 44-yard catch. On the very next play, Velu would scramble out of the pocket to hit Ted Hurst. Hurst would spin his way to the end zone for a 21-yard touchdown to give the Panthers a 21-point lead. The game would change drastically with just 35 seconds left in a dominant Panthers first half. Outside linebacker Nicholas Giacalone would run Fleming's route for him and intercept Christian Velu. The first play following the interception, Ulotsky would find a wide, and I mean wide open, Stanley King for the 28-yard score. Cornerback Jalen Jones would block the PAT, and the score would be 21-6 Panthers. After throwing an interception with 35 seconds left in the half, Velu would drop back with 17 seconds left. This time he would fumble after being sandwiched by Stephen Daly and Cameron Olds. Ulotsky would find Sebastian Brown for the 10-yard touchdown, the second Golden Flash touchdown in just 11 seconds to make the score at half 21-13 Panthers. Early in the third, Coach Roy would go for it again on 4th down near midfield. Strong safety Josh Baca would stop CJ Beasley short of the marker. 3 plays later and inside the 10, Ulotsky would hit Sebastian Brown again for a touchdown, this time for 8 yards. Coach Roy would unsuccessfully challenge the spot, and the Golden Flash would now go for 2. Ulotsky would find Christian McCray for the 2, and after trailing 21-0, the score was now tied at 21. Picking it up early in the 4th, 3rd and 9 for Kent State, Ulotsky hits Brown for a huge 42-yard gain. Following the huge pass, the Panthers would force a field goal attempt, but on that attempt, Panthers would get called for roughing the kicker to extend the drive. On the first play following the roughing the kicker, running back Kai Thomas would take the halfback screen 12 yards to the end zone, giving Kent State their first lead of the game, 28-21, after trailing 21-0. We fast forward to just 27 seconds left in the game. Georgia State still trailing 28-21. Velu would find Dorian Fleming for a 19-yard gain. After 3 straight incompletions, the Panthers would be down to their last shot. 4th and 10 with just 6 seconds left. Bailu drops back. He has a man deep left with some space. Kadarius Thompson comes down with it in the end zone with no time left. The Panthers are going to go for 2 in the win. Bailu scrambles right. No one is open. Bailu points. Bailu throws. Caught! Dorian Fleming for 2. Panthers win. Panthers win 29-28. What a game! Georgia State is now 8-0 on the season. Thank you for tuning in to episode 9 of the Coach Charley Roy Dynasty. Don't forget to hit that like, comment, and subscribe, and see you next Wednesday for episode 10.